Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Let me tell y'all something. The quad squad box off is more real than ever. And I'm saying that with all sincerity. Now, we understand 23 December was a very important date for Tyson Fury and Usyk. That's all up in the air now. Matter of fact, I'm going to say it's gone up in flames. When Tyson Fury is gone, when he goes on record and says, right, that he's going to let his team handle things, and he has nothing to say about when his next fight is going to be, specifically this, and who his fight's going to be against. When he starts saying that, people get ready for anything, because there is a chance. I'm telling you, the fight's gonna happen on the 23rd. You know, people are saying Fury's left orbital is broken. I don't know if it's broken, but his eye is black and blue and bruised up very bad. As far as the orbital, I don't know. He didn't see the swelling around his eye like he did with the other guys who've had orbital bones broken. Usyk, Dubois, Billy Joe Saunders. Okay, so Kell Brook. It didn't swell up like that, so I don't think the orbital bone is broken. But his face is banged up pretty good. And I tell you what, you don't turn around in 6 or 7 weeks and get back in the ring after getting, physically beat on the way he got beat on by Francis Ngannou. But now that we got that out the way, it would make sense for the fight not to happen on 23 December. But this is where it gets interesting, okay? Who does he fight next? Because before the fight, remember, he was talking about suing Usyk. He was talking about the contract. They signed the date for the 23rd of December. Remember? And Usyk, who came out and cleared things up, he said what he stated was misinterpreted through translation, where a reporter came out and said that Usyk was saying that he was injured and he needed time to heal and he needed 14 weeks to prepare for Fury. But Usyk cleared all that up, and he said that's not what he meant, and that's not what should have been translated. So Usyk is saying right now, I want to fight Tyson Fury on 23 December. But then Usyk's representative said that Tyson Fury one day says he wants to fight, one day he doesn't want to fight. Excuse me, I got a cold. As far as when the fight's going to take place, they don't know. Because they said they don't know what Tyson Fury is doing. So that just lets you know that there could be a little bit of a pullback on Tyson Fury's side and Tyson Fury's team in regards to not just the fight date, but on the opponent. Because I'm going to tell you this, right? I understand how styles make fights. I do. I get it. But I wasn't really seeing Francis Ngannou doing anything too out the ordinary that would make Tyson Fury second guess himself. The power is one thing, right? Obviously there's some power there, you gotta be careful. But Francis Ngannou wasn't really floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. But he was sitting back waiting, trying to counter Fury. But I think what Fury realized is that, damn, Ngannou can hit me. And the reason he can hit him is because Ngannou's reach is like 83 inches. Fury's reach is 85. So Ngannou was able to get there when Fury thought he was out of danger, and Ngannou was still able to get there and touch him. And I think that's exactly what Deontay Wilder experienced when he fought Fury. Wilder thought he was out of range, and Fury was still touching him. Earl Spence and Terence Crawford. Earl Spence thought that maybe he was out of range, and Crawford, with those long-ass arms, was able to get to him. Okay? So, as far as the next opponent, I don't know. Still sounds like it's a go for Usyk, but we just don't know what's going to materialize. But this is what makes this even more interesting. You see, this is where you try to stitch things together to get a clear picture of what we can expect in the coming months when it comes to what I call now the quad squad. Joshua said that there were talks about having he and Wilder, Fury and Usyk all fight on one card again sometime around March, right? And let me tell you, the fact that Fury took that damage, I would not be surprised if there was some refinements made to say, hey, we have an opportunity here to go from having a huge entertaining card for Riyadh season that consisted of Fury and Usyk headlining to having an even bigger card. Now that all eyes are on Saudi Arabia and sports, and we can use that result of the first fight to give us an even bigger event and use those results to continue to advance sports in Saudi and help to clean up our image. Now, the even bigger event could be where we see all four guys on one card. Now, I don't know, but what I do believe is two things. When these fighters start telling us stuff, I think there's some truth to it. But at the same time, when these fighters tell us some stuff, I think some of it is these guys just blowing hot air. But at the end of the day, if you look at how things are kind of going right now, you can see where things go a direction to where they do have a quad squad box off. But you can also see it go a direction to where, hey, they come now to Saudis and they say, nah, we want Fury and Ngannou to fight as soon as Fury gets a green light from his physician, which I'm thinking it wouldn't be more than 60 days from today, just to get healed up. So in reality, Fury could be fighting at the end of the year still. The problem is Fury wants to go home and spend time with his kids and his family. And Fury, this is the other thing he said, the paycheck's already cleared. The money's already in his account. So he's looking to the next fight with Usyk to get that money in his account. And then the fight after that to get more money in his account. So Fury doesn't seem to me to really be worried about being forced into anything, because he just speaks like a man who is in a win-win situation. Usyk doesn't talk like he's in a win-win situation. Wilder is definitely not in a win-win situation, and he doesn't talk like it. And not even Anthony Joshua is talking like he's in a win-win situation anymore. Just look at how the tables have turned. With these four fighters, right? AJ was the go-to guy. AJ was the cash cow. AJ is no longer that. He's still a cash cow, but he is no longer the go-to guy. The go-to guy is Tyson Fury. After Tyson Fury, I don't know, it's kind of hard to say, because Usyk is starting the Skills Challenge promotion out of Saudi. So Usyk is going to go out here, and Usyk is going to get paid good money. But I still think Anthony Joshua is a bigger draw than Usyk. But depending on Usyk and the direction Skill Challenge promotion takes him, and what happens between him and Fury, Usyk could bubble up and become the draw in the heavyweight division. Because now you can have all kind of people trying to get at Usyk, because they still look at him and think, well, he's smaller, that they should be able to clip him. In addition to that, everyone knows that Usyk has irritable bowel syndrome. You know, if you hit Usyk in the midsection, he's gonna shit all over the ring, right? You don't even hit to get close to the midsection or a low blow. Just hit him anywhere from the neck down, and Usyk is gonna sit there and act like he's dying, right? But that being said, out of all of these guys, if I had to rack and stack them, as far as who's the draw, I would say Fury, AJ, maybe Usyk did Wilder. And that's sad, because out of all these guys, right, who is must-see TV when they're in the ring? Out of Tyson Fury, Usyk, AJ, and Wilder, who is must-see TV? The number one guy is Deontay Wilder. So why isn't Deontay Wilder the cash cow? When you have someone like Deontay Wilder who can kill a man in the ring with one shot, right? Why isn't Deontay Wilder over there in Saudi fighting? Why isn't this man out here making hundreds of millions of dollars for one fight? Why doesn't, well, people tune in, but, everybody illegally streams fights. But why isn't Deontay Wilder a household name when it comes to the casual fans as well? So it makes you wonder about him and the how they approached him and marketing him. I just makes me feel like someone dropped the ball. But the other thing I want to mention about Deontay Wilder and the possibility of the Quad Squad, Wilder wants to get back in the ring immediately. But he was over there filming a reality show in the UK. So all of that should be done and over with. So the bottom line is, as we approach the end of this year, early next year, something's gonna start happening with these four, and I think it will be really exciting to have all four of them fight on the same night. I think that would be crazy. And I'll be honest with you, I'd rather see Wilder and AJ headline, but I get it. They're not fighting for an undisputed distinction. But I think the fight of the night would definitely be Wilder and AJ, not necessarily Fury and Usyk. It's just like with Fury and Ngannou. And you had Adelaide and Fabio Wardley. That was the fight to see, not necessarily Fury and Ngannou. And I think that would be the same thing if they had a quad squad box off and they had Wilder and AJ as the co-main. But that being said, let's just sit back and see how the cards fall. Because at this point in time, we know AJ. It's a sad case, sad case. But I don't know what AJ wants to do. He just sat up there in some dark cabin. Let me turn this off, man. He just sat there in some dark cabin for a couple of days. Word is he was sitting in the dark room and thought he saw the boogeyman, and he cut that trip short. He ain't want nothing to do with that dark ass cabin or cottage, whatever he was staying in. Once he felt like he saw the boogeyman, and somebody was saying he probably thought he saw water in there, and that's why he got the hell out. But that being said, I'm not so sure AJ, he's benefiting from being with Derek James. I think AJ would have benefited more from being with Freddie Roach. But some people don't agree with me. But I think AJ would have done very good with Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach has dealt with all kind of fighters. He's gotten most of his fighters after they've already been developed and had a certain level of success, and then he's managed to extend their careers or make them better. So Anthony Joshua would have been a perfect fit for a guy like Freddie Roach. Freddie Roach isn't someone who's taking anyone from the grassroots level and built him into a champion. So I think Anthony Joshua would have been a perfect fit for him. But it is what it is. He's with Derek James, and we'll see how he looks. But confidence-wise, I'm just not seeing it. I'm not seeing it. He's still trying to build his character and all kind of stuff, man. I really don't know what to say about AJ. But I know this. If him and Deontay Wilder were to fight, AJ's best bet is to blitz Wilder. Like, catch Wilder cold. But, Wilder will come out fast too. But we saw with Helenius, Wilder was in there trying things like lateral movement, jabbing to the body. And Helenius touched him up a couple times. And then he had Deontay Wilder on the back foot. And then Helenius just, devoid of all intelligence, ran straight into Deontay Wilder with his hands down around his knees and shit. So Wilder just touched him up, tranquilized him, and the rest was history. But I think AJ, if he really came in there and just jumped on Wilder, I think he would knock him out. I think it would be a Daniel Jacobs, Peter Quillen moment. And I think Wilder's head would be spinning. I think everybody in the boxing world head would be spinning too, because they'd be like, wow. And then they would say AJ's back, but it's not that. I just think you got to catch Wilder cold. He still doesn't have good footwork. He's still not really fundamentally sound. But I tell you what, if you don't get in there and catch Wilder slipping, and you let Wilder get comfortable enough or get enough distance to where he can line you up, when Wilder's fast, man, when that right hand come, it could be over because AJ, his head movement isn't the best. And AJ's not trying to get in close and throw to the body and throw uppercuts and hooks like he did before. He's not trying to close the gap and get on the inside. AJ's trying to, make it a coochie-coo contest. He wants to come in there and float like a butterfly and tickle you. And that's just not going to work against a guy like Wilder. He needs to jump on. Don't let him warm up. Because I think Wilder's, after watching him with Hellenius, I mean, really, what Wilder had, man, not even a full 3 minutes. You know what I'm saying? In the last, over a year now. Not even a full 3 minutes. So the things that he's learning with Malik Scott, he in sparring and stuff, he's probably working on it, but he really hasn't, I don't think, gotten comfortable with all the things that Malik Scott has been showing him. And I personally, excuse me, just my opinion, I think Deontay Wilder's just been, inundated with so many new things because Malik Scott, his brain is just always going. He's always thinking boxing. I think he's just kind of inundated Deontay Wilder to the point with so many new things about boxing to where Deontay Wilder, I think, may be overwhelmed. He may find himself in the ring trying to do things that aren't really necessary. It's like watching a guy play basketball. Some of these young kids, the goal is to take the ball and put it in the goal, or get from point A to the goal, straight line, not all around the world. But you get some guys, right, who understand the least amount of dribbles to get to that rim or to get a shot off, right? Then you get the other ones who, like, they've learned all this shit, and they're out there between the legs, between the back, jab step, you know what I'm saying? All that craziness, man. You know what I mean? It's like you don't need to do all this dribbling all around the place just to score. The least amount of dribbles. And I think in boxing, it's whatever it takes to win. You don't need to be doing a whole bunch of shit in the ring. Keep it simple, intelligence, make the right reads, and then, let your hands go. But that being said, we're going to see how it all plays out. I'm not so sure Usyk will want to wait till April when the date that Anthony Joshua was throwing around of the possible quad squad box off. But at the end of the day, Usyk may not have a choice. Fury may not have a choice. If those guys over there in Saudi decide, you know what, let's just push things off until April and let's do this, then that's what it's going to be. But for me, if I'm Deontay Wilder, I want to fight before that. Deontay Wilder wasted a whole year thinking he was going to fight AJ. Then he started trying to make a fight with Andy Ruiz, and Ruiz turned it down. They tried to make fights with other fighters. They turned down 4 million. And I believe that to be true. So Wilder's got to do something. I know he says he's got so much money now, he doesn't need boxing. Okay, no problem, that's great. But I tell you what, there's nothing he's doing right now to where in a 36-minute time frame, he can go and make millions of dollars. So as much as these guys talk like they don't need boxing, yeah, right. Get on out there, get active, get your money up. And hopefully we'll get some good fights before the end of the year. We know Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn, they're fighting, and they don't care if it's they don't care if they're fighting number 15, number 20, number 25 person. They don't care. They just want to keep Anthony Joshua busy. And I'm gonna show you something. This is what Anthony Joshua is looking to do. Let me show y'all this real quick before I end the video. So if you're still hanging with me, then that's good for you. Watch this. You see this right here? This WBA column to the far right that has Usyk and Manuel Charr. They're trying to make Anthony Joshua against Manuel Charr. That's the fight they're trying to make. Now, if you look over here to the far left, the WBO column, you see Zhilei Zhang as an interim champion. He's available, but they don't want Anthony Joshua to fight Zhang. Isn't that crazy? Look where Jared Anderson is now. This is a whole nother video, man, I think I'm going to do. But when you really take a look at it, things are getting interesting to where these guys are going to have to fight somebody. But it looks like the play they're trying to make is the easiest opponent, and that's Joshua versus Manuel Charr to pick up a WBA World Heavyweight Championship. And if Joshua picks that up, well, then he's back in the mix. And then I don't know who they're going to have him go against, but he'll be a step closer to picking up some hardware. So the hardware that he lost anyway. That being said, more to come on all this. I wouldn't be surprised what direction it goes. But out of all these guys, I don't feel sorry for no one. But I do think that it's foul that people are ducking Deontay Wilder. Let me tell you, there's a lot of fighters that use the word ducking loosely. But I am telling you, these fighters are ducking Deontay Wilder. Duck sauce on the fried rice. They don't want nothing to do with him. Their managers, their trainers, their promoters, they don't want to get their fighters nowhere near that goddamn Deontay Wilder because they know what Deontay Wilder brings to the table. And that is a fact. Y'all keep cool. Shout out to the veterans. All 7 continents. I'm in the breeze.